Alright, are we ready? Okay. Alright, I'm sure you all know me. Harry Potter, yeah, I'm a big celebrity. J.K. Rowling wrote a whole huge biography on me, 7 whole books. It turned into 8 movie franchise. I got pretty famous in the wizarding world. Now, I'm going to be telling you about the year that I turned 13. It was a pretty hectic year in my life. I mean, every year in my life is like this, but I think this one was pretty drastic. It began by blowing up my Aunt Marge, and she did deserve it, okay? She was acting like a total... Yeah, I mean, she's not even my aunt, for God's sakes. But anyway, so the ministry is still trying to find her. They'll locate her eventually, and you know they dropped all charges, so it's no big deal. The reason why they don't care so much is because apparently this mass murderer who's been sitting in jail for 12 years and was the one who betrayed my parents to Voldemort, yeah, well, he escaped. He's the first one to do so, and now he's after me. So they got all these Dementor guards surrounding the school and the villages. And now the biggest issue is these Dementors, they really affect me more than anybody, because you know what happens when I see them? I faint and I hear my mother dying. Do you know what that's like? Any of you? No. No. Okay? It's painful. I see a flash of green light and I hear my mother scream echoing. So thank God I had this awesome professor, Professor Lupin, who taught me how to repel the Dementors. It's a simple Patronus charm. Basically, you take the happiest memory and it'll drive away the evil of the Dementors, which is pretty awesome for all of us. And so that's not all. Hagrid, you know, the big guy, you know, he's really awesome. Well, he finally became a teacher. He teaches magical creatures, and he is now being fined, and one of his creatures, Buckbeak the Hypocrite, is being put to death because stupid Draco could not follow directions. It pisses me off the way he acts. Because now Hagrid is getting fined and Buckbeak's gonna die. And I mean, really, you don't insult the Hypocrite. Everybody knows that Hagrid said straight out, and he completely disregarded it. And well, also, so I found out that this guy Sirius, who is the one after me, well, he's actually my godfather. So that kind of like puts a whole twist in this scenario. And I find out that he's actually a good guy. He actually was the one who was trying to save my parents, and this guy Peter Pettigrew, one of my dad's closest friends as well, was the one who really sold them out to Voldemort. Now this guy Peter, for the past 12 years, was my friend Ron's rat. So I mean, think about it. Ron was sleeping with a guy for 12 years. I mean, he was a rat, he did it illegally, and he faked his death, and well, turns out because the whole hubbub was serious, Peter ended up escaping, and now he's going to be reuniting with Voldemort, and we all know what can happen with that. But also, but thank God, between myself, Ron, and Hermione, we did save not only Sirius, we also saved Buckbeak. Of course, they both are in hiding, but they're glad to just be free. Sirius is happy to have at least attempted to get the guy who really sold out his friends. Now, Joanne Kathleen Rowling is becoming the new Minister of Magic by popular demand. She grew up in Chepstow, Gwent, which is in England, and she studied French at the University of Exeter. In 1991, she moved to Portugal, where she taught secondary English and married her first husband, and she had her beautiful baby girl, Jessica. After a few years, they divorced, and then she moved back to the UK, where she started writing the first Harry Potter. The series began in 1990 when she was delayed on a train, and the ideas came to her. And upon completing the first book in 1993, The Sorcerer's Stone, it was rejected by 12 publishers, and finally in 1997 it was printed by Bloomsbury Children's Book, which is not that big of a publishing company, but it is kind of famous. The future books came out shortly after, pretty much one a year. and it was published by Scholastic Press. As well as the movie franchise, she also wrote a couple of Harry's textbooks, as you see over here. Now she does donate a lot of her money to charities, including some that she founded herself. She founded the Children's Voice as well as Loomis. She received an OBE for children's literature as well as many awards. She founded the famed website Pottermore, which is, for any Harry Potter person, you should definitely take a look at. I mean, she keeps up with her fans. She constantly is giving more information about stuff behind the books. And, you know, there's awesome games and stuff. And she currently lives in Edinburgh with her current husband and 3 children. Now, why do I like children's literature? What is my definition of literature? Well, the Daily Prophet was able to get an exclusive interview with Professor Dovid, famed journalist for the Wizarding World. He has helped solve a century-long question of what is children's literature. So Professor Redder says that children's literature is defined as the written word intended to teach children and young adults until approximately age 18 a valuable lesson. It doesn't matter if the lesson is the ABCs or to honor your parents or to simply how to escape from the real world, which is very vital for everybody. You always need a way to escape. And he also says that the reader, it teaches the reader that anything is possible. That as long as you put your mind to it, it's very easy to get around. And it's very important to get things done. And anything's possible as long as you put your mind to it. The connection with the book is Harry Potter is more than a book, and I'm not talking about the movie. It's a way of life for many people, including myself. Readers, young and old, have survived this story, and it teaches everyone that nothing is impossible. You can enter a world, time travel, changing into a different creature, or the idea of a godparent reappearing in your world. Anything is possible, and this beautiful work of literature teaches that depression can be blown away with a single happy thought, which is amazing if you think about it. So why did I choose this book? Well, as I'm sure you all know, I have lived Harry Potter for as long as I can remember. I've read the series countless times, including 3 times in the past year alone, as well as watching the movies numerous times. This particular book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, is a particular favorite of mine. From the beginning when he blows up his aunt until the idea of Sirius, until the escape of Pettigrew, and then the whole part of the end with the time traveling. It's just amazing. I mean, it's a book that I can open to any page and I'll look around and I'll almost think that Sirius Black is right behind me. It becomes so alive. It also teaches many important lessons, and that's what inspired me for this book. When I was 15, I lost a sister, which can be very depressing. However, this book taught me, as I mentioned, that a single happy thought can drive away depression, and that helped me tremendously in the past few years. Also, it teaches the loyalty that friends have. Sirius Black sat in jail for 12 years. He wasn't trying to free his name or anything. He just wanted the person who sold out his friends to get punished. And he did everything possible. And yes, Pettigrew escaped to the end, but he was satisfied knowing that he did everything he could for his friends. And also, it also teaches that nothing is permanent. At the end of the book, they go do a whole time traveling thing to help save Sirius and Buckbeak. And so, just because you made a mistake one time, it's not the end of the world. It's still possible to make it up, even if it seems like it's not. We just have to be willing to give it a shot. Now, why I think this book should be taught in classrooms and how. Harry Potter, the series as a whole, and this book in particular, is very important. It teaches you to open your imagination, be creative, and let your feelings out. It's relatable to anyone, whether you're a Harry, or Ron, or even a Draco. And the way it should be taught is very simple. I think that you should have the class act out certain parts, because this will teach them first-hand experience on working together, friendship, honesty, loyalty, caring, the power of happiness, bravery, the evilness of bullying, which is a big thing in this book in particular, determination to do the right thing, the courage to admit your mistakes, and so much more, all of which can be found in this one book. At the end, so in conclusion, I believe that reading is a very important aspect, especially for children. It gives them the way to enter a whole new world, and so, I mean, it's just, reading allows a child to have a fantasy in their mind be played out in their version of reality, and whether and it teaches you that so much, and I think every child should break through that barrier at platform 9 3/4 and enter the world of reading. If anybody is interested, I do have 4 available chocolate marshmallow filled frogs. Just come to me after. All right.